Oof, very discombobulated. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am here literally every single day of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. We have epic troll slayers who keep us safe, and we've got a fantastic community because of your kindness. Okay, let me see if I can move this without making too much noise. Sorry. You have been so kind to each other and so kind to me. Thank you. And if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are there. I timestamp them as I go, so you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on a higher speed or whatever works for you. Okay? Hello, hello, hello. Okay. On today's episode, Pope Francis has passed. Bless him. There is concern that after such a progressive pope, the church will swing wildly in the other direction. Look at that. It turns out Pete Hegseth, Hog's Breath, of Whiskey Leaks, had yet another signal chat giving away war plans. This one involved his wife and brother-in-law. Also, Kristi Noem's purse was snatched outside a DC restaurant. It included $3,000 and a very sensitive government information. So we'll look at that. Okay. So, so at 2 minutes in, we're going to jump right in. Both Claude and Cindy were asking about Pope Francis. So, bless his soul. I've made it very clear in the past that I don't agree with everything he believed in, but I respected that at least his beliefs were consistent. It wasn't every woman should have every baby, which I have real problems with. Under every circumstance, problems with that. But at the very, very least, he also believed that once that child was born, that child needed to be taken care of by everyone. No child should be hungry. We totally agree on that. That there should be less suffering, that there should be less war, less violence. I respect that. And he took a lot of very influential people in the Catholic Church who were just in it for the money, were living a high on the hog, and he kicked them to the curb. Made a lot of enemies. So, bless his soul. For what it is worth, I think he's at peace. I really do. It feels very peaceful. And if he wanted to see, if he just wanted to have a very simple transition to the other side, he could do that. And if he wanted the big Rococo view of God, I'm sure he got that. He got whichever he really wanted. So it just feels very peaceful. He was tired. So, okay. Sandra Lee says he was sick for months. He knew. Yeah. Yep. Isabel Mass is suggesting Vance should visit Putin next. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Amy says, pity he had to meet with Shady before he passed. Well, maybe that was his, he couldn't really talk to Trump. So maybe that was his last great act, was to try to talk some sense into someone who is never going to listen, but to give it the old try. So, some good tea. Some time with you, time with friends, and we're going to look at the future of the Pope. I was talking to Sarah this morning. She's doing well. She'll be there at Creative Sprints this afternoon. And she was talking about, see, her family watches wrestling, which I know nothing about. But her family, they get a kick out of it. For years, it's been a thing. And forgive me if I'm wrong, but there is some kind of, there's like, it builds up all year until there's a suitcase that they hang from the ceiling. And if you can get to it, you can automatically challenge whoever has the highest title or something like that. So everybody comes out and makes a big show of trying to get to it. And there's a term for it, but I don't. There's a term for it. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, Sarah said it's probably bad, but I don't know why I'm picturing that. I said, well, that would be more interesting than the smoke. And I am familiar with Taylor Swift's Reputation video, the climbing, trying to get, and it's just the Cardinals. So anyway. All right. He did. Yes. Vance did actually finally get to meet with the Pope briefly. And the picture, the only picture I've seen, the Pope has a look on his face. He's looking up at Vance like, and it's, oh, yeah, don't worry. You're not alone there. Mimi says, I admired Pope Francis very much. May he rest well with ease and grace. Well, you're never going to see a member of MAGA washing anybody's feet. All right, but the Catholic Church going forward. Is it going to swing wildly? How quickly do they have how quickly do they hold the conclave? I can't remember the terms for the new Pope. Well, it's funny that you don't get the Pope, you get the Emperor. The head cheese. Lewis says, I think there's a 9-day wait of mourning. Thank you. Amy says it typically happens within about 15 to 20 days. Okay. After a papal vacancy. Okay. Thank you. 15 days, says Charlie. Thank you. All right. The more conservative branch waiting for their ship to come in. King of Cups. Well, he was the King of Cups. He was more. See, I have my issues. I'm not gonna try to front. I haven't been Catholic since I was 16. I have big issues with the church. But as far as popes go, he was a good one. Four of Swords. This is just quiet as a tomb. This is just silence. And then 10 of Swords. Ouch. With the Page of Swords. So that would be, what you call it? That would be officious. It feels like it's kind of weakness, but it's not. It's like, this is how we do things. But this 10 of Swords, I'm going to have to ask for some clarification. So. Mega Karen says, I liked Francis from the start when he didn't want to wear all that gaudy jewelry. Yeah. It wasn't, was it? No, I think it was Pope Benedict who wore the Prada shoes, which Well, knowing what we know now, it's like, really? Did you contact where it's manufactured in China? Those Prada shoes? Rita says, I doubt the Pope's message for humanity and moral decency fell on deaf ears. Well, there were a lot of people who listened, but I don't think Vance and whatnot are listening. I think the ears are a little bit deaf. Oh, Rose Blue says, I hope your folks are okay today. Yeah, they're doing okay. We had a nice simple dinner last night, and I made an apple crumble, and we had a nice dinner. We sat together and had dinner. It was nice. Thank you. So I'm trying to get a sense of, because this just feels official, like these are the steps we take. Oh, all right. I've got the Temperance card, which is interesting because it feels very kind of shaky. The Eight of Swords, hemmed in, burden of the far right. I don't think the majority are going to go for someone as progressive as Francis, but this Temperance card makes me wonder. Because the things we need to worry about are not just extremism that they they lurch even further to the right. There's a whole other issue of corruption. So, hello, Sherry. Jennifer Parr says there's never been an American Pope. So the Orange Menace won't have sway in it. True. Sabine says time for an African Pope. Well, it'd be nice if we could get one who actually believed in equality. I know. Let's not get crazy. But Three of Swords. Ouch. Sitting pretty. The Pope is dead. Long live the Pope. There's the Empress. Yeah, we need somebody in there who actually believes in equality. Six of Swords. Ace of Cups. Let's see. This is not awful. I am getting four popes. I'm actually getting someone who is not the hardest of hardliners. Albert says, Autumn, don't push it. They've just entered the 19th century. I know. So, Tammy says, some have said Francis is the last. I don't think so. I mean, I can pull cards on it, but I don't think so. At 14. And I could be wrong, but it seems like oh, what was I going to read on? It wasn't okay, my mind just went poof. Jolene says a good portion of the priests here are from Africa, America, and the new mission field. Okay. Cinderly says somebody that wants to progress, not go back in time. Okay. Sabine says the clericals can be as mean as politicians. Oh, absolutely. Okay. I can't remember what I was going to read on. Is it the last pope? Okay. I thought it was good something else, but sure, let's do that. Thank you for helping me. Oh, that's what I was trying to say. It seems like for most of my life, I've heard it almost. I know I'm not saying I'm accurate, but in my memory, it almost seems like people have been talking about, well, this is going to be the last pope, and that's going to be the last pope, and it's always like the one after next is the last pope. The one after next is the last pope. The one after next is the last pope. It's like, oh well. Thank you, Chris. Cool. What is, Sandra Lee, what is CRS, please? Thank you. Kelly says, I read an article that Pope Francis placed many bishops and cardinals of like mind. Let's hope so. Thaddeus Pinkney, I love your name, says, praying for a moderate to liberal pope. Yeah, well, I for a pope, Queen of Cups. So there are. Oh, Sandra Lee. That's funny. Okay. Yeah. Queen of Cups, King of Cups. Those are definitely some more liberal leaning people. Three of Swords. Again, this is a lot. There are a lot of people who really loved Francis. Knight of Pentacles, Five of Swords, adding insult to injury. Eight of Cups, work left unfinished. Six of Wands, right, victory. Okay, I'm not getting, no, I don't think it's going to be the last pope. And I'm getting a lot of headbutting toward politicians who are on the far right. Like, this hurts, but it's like, can you not start mowing the grave already? Can you wait? Adding insult to injury, far right victory, but this is minor arcana. They're yeah, okay. I don't see this as the last pope. I really don't. Martina says, you're very calming to me in these trying times. I am so glad I could be of any help. Oh, Coyote Rosenbaum, that is very sweet. Yeah, they're going to vote. There's some justice. Who's going to be the next star? Daily work. Voting. No, it just gets things just going. So, okay. Well, like I said, bless his soul. Feels like he's in a good place, and it feels like he's grateful for the prayers, for what it's worth. That's what it feels like. Okay. All right. Oxford Cat says Pope Francis made specific directions for his funeral to not be as pomp and circumstance. He wants to be buried away from the Vatican. He was such a humble man. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't really break my heart that Benedict stepped down. It really doesn't. And he says the church moves at a glacial pace. Or slower. Okay. So, meanwhile, back in politics land, turns out Pete Hegseth had another signal chat giving away war plans. This one involved his wife and brother-in-law. I mean, that's crazy. Look, I have two brother-in-laws. I don't share stuff about my business with them. Not that what I'm doing is any great secret. It's just, why would they care? Hi.
Hello, precious. Oh, there's a boo-boo. Yes, there's the boo-boo.
So, those in the know say he is unlikely to remain in his role much longer. Is Hegseth on the way out? He should be, but he shouldn't have gotten in there in the first place, and then he should have been yeeted out of there during the first mess. And I'd say, of course he's going to be removed, but apparently Dumpy's more angry that this leaked than he is about what Hegseth did. Oh, and did you have the misfortune of seeing the dumpster fire, President Dumpster Fire's Easter message? It was bad. It was bad even for him. Wow, a whole lot of minor arcana. 7 of Wands. He's definitely putting MAGA on the defensive. This is daily work, feeling beaten up at work. Let's take your swords and go. Queen of Wands, these are the other super like MAGAs and the burden of that. In theory, this is a, get lost, but Hegseth is one of the inner circle, and they're already burdened with incompetence. They kicked out, kicked out and fired three of Hegseth's Hogsbreath's flunkies. Can I remind everyone again for the umpteenth time that Pete Hegseth said during his confirmation, it is on video, you can look it up, said during his confirmation hearings, when it was brought up his potential drinking problems, he said, and I quote, "If I get this job, I'll stop drinking." Look, I admit, I've never worked in HR, but I would think that would be the deal killer right there. Ooh. Veronica says, I barely listen to the news. I get it here. I am glad. Well, that's what we do. We go through the news together. All right, Hogsbreath. This is all minor arcana. MAGA waiting for their ship to come in. There's all this corruption. The energy is like it's like a horrible grr kind of energy. Again, MAGA on the defensive, hemmed in, 3 of Swords. So he might get the boot, but this is also pathetically small. The energy is nearly non-existent except for the major arcana of the corruption. Doing anything to hold anybody accountable on their side, it's their favorite play is Melted Toddler. That's their favorite play. So Rob D says he quit drinking. He went to sipping instead. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Miss Gibson. So, yeah. Yeah, he might get booted, but it's not like they're going to put in someone who's wildly competent. Yeah. So anyway, 2515. Thank you for going through the news with me. Thank you. Besides potentially not having a job, could Hegseth be looking at some criminal charges? With Pam Bondi as the Attorney General? You'd think. So potentially not having a job. Could Hegseth be facing criminal charges? You maroon. You ultra maroon. Oh, I saw somebody making an argument the other day, and it amazes me, the stuff you just run across randomly in social media. In social media, there was someone making a case the other day that the one person who could have walked into Mordor in Lord of the Rings would be Bugs Bunny. It's like, go ahead, convince me. I'll give you a few minutes of my life. Go ahead. Anyway, those are his actions. Also, Trump would have to approve Hegseth getting any kind of charges. So Brenda says, okay, I'm intrigued. I know, I was too. I was like, all right, take a few minutes of my life. Go ahead. All right, I'm listening. Ace of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Temperance. Eight of Wands. Knight of Swords. Well, that would be somebody potentially getting into big trouble. The rest of this is just the usual one of the many awful things happening during the Trump administration. This King of Swords has some potential, but it's way at the end. Spiritual acts, troll season, goblin season, troll season, goblin season. Knight of Wands. It's just if MAGA starts holding some of their own people accountable, where do you stop? It's a slippery slope. There's a Thief card. Seven of Pentacles, fruits of labor. Yeah, that's important stuff. Knight of Pentacles. It's possible, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm just not. So I'm not 100% convinced he's going to lose his job. I mean, my logical mind is like, of course he's going to lose his job. And the cards are like, probably. Yeah. All right. Carol's asking, once the dumpster fire is put out for good, couldn't a lot of these transgressors be held accountable retroactively if the statute of limitations haven't run out? There would be a big argument about going after your political opponents, but breaking the law is breaking the law. So thank you, Acadian Proud. Yeah, Delta flights had some trouble, but people evacuated. No injuries. It's okay. So, all right. Now this could be a little more problematic. I mean, that was problematic, but this... So Kristi Noem has security. Kristi Noem's purse was snatched outside of a DC restaurant. In her purse, it was for $3,000. Who walks around with $3,000? And sensitive government information. I mean, if you go to the link, there's a list. There was her government phone. There was her badges to get into sensitive areas. So was this a random purse snatching, or was it targeted? because it isn't that they would necessarily use her access badges and whatnot. It's that they would get a sense of what do they look like, what kind of technology are they using, and considering, isn't she supposed to seek some form of Secret Service protection? I know she has some kind of bodyguards. Just a random purse snatching? Really? With all that attention, all those people, really? Spiritual Hacks says, gotta love that security detail. Yeah. So what's just a random purse snatching or the cards are saying this is not random. I mean, they're saying it really, really closely. Okay, card for the reading is a Chariot. This is a big deal. And her moving around isn't something that happens the way that you and I would just move around. And it's behind that is the World card. So she's supposed to be looked after. Fruits of labor. So yeah, she had all kinds of stuff in her purse. Secrets. Queen of Wands. So she's one of that MAGA group. Nine of Cups. This is all the information. I do not like that this is ending in the Tower, because this is our country, our all the stuff we've built, democratic norms, what have you. I don't like this Tower card. This is what was in her purse. Fruits of labor and secrets. And that's her. Hello, dear. How doing? You doing okay? Oh no, they will absolutely Kristi Noem, they will absolutely cancel her badge and what have you. But that wouldn't be the point. The point is to find out, what did these badges look like? What technology do they use so that fake ones can be made? Lewis is suggesting she also had her interchangeable lips like Mrs. Potato Head. Kelly says not the point. Okay. Jennifer says Boo Boo's and Kitty. Hi, buddy. Good boy. Five of Pentacles. That's disappointment out in the cold. Burden. There will be questions about this. There will be Have they caught the person who did this? Lena's asking who's behind it. Putin? I'm not sure. You good boy. This Page of Cups could possibly. Oh, you big yawn. This Eight of Cups hemmed in and this Ten of Swords. This is going to hurt. There's something here that's going to hurt us, our country. Yeah, Sandra Lee. Putin would just ask. Yeah. No.
You're precious. You are the precious. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. You okay? Oh, good boy. I'm getting scritches. Yes, you're being sent scritches. Very sweet. Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Megan cares. Is somebody stealing your show? Oh, he does that. Your white fluffiness. Yes, Julie.
Carol, yes, he is the most beautiful.
Nine of Cups. This is the infrastructure we've built. Who's behind this? There's a thief card. Refusal. They're going to look into this. That's all I'm getting. There's going to be a big, there's something here. And I don't like that Tower and that Ten of Swords card. This ending in those bad cards, that's not good. That is absolutely true. Where's that? Retelling Savoy says most DC thieves would know themselves or know someone who knows what to do with badges and sensitive information. I'd be checking the dark web right now. Oh, there you go. Well, you'd also think that know who to go after and who to be like, look. Yes, precious one. They're going to look into it. That's what I've got. Three of Pentacles. All the plans. There was all kind of stuff in that phone. King of Swords, Knight of Cups. So there may be. I mean, this can be a prosecutor, but keep getting this Knight of Cups. This is Democrats holding people's feet to the fire. How did this happen? Who's got it? What was actually in there? She might not fully cooperate on what was on that phone. What was fully in there? She might say, well, I'm telling you. So then we don't know what whoever took it. Oh, I think her passport was in there too. There was a lot in that purse. There was a lot in that purse. Big secrets. All right, this is feeling like it's going to become a bigger deal than it sounds like. So, Chaotic Star says the passing bean toast from Boo Boo is nice. Hi.
He's a good boy.
Did a reporter take it? Ooh. Crisco's asking, did an Atlanta reporter take it? Did we? Is that what's the word on the street? Is it a reporter? Okay. At 39:10. Reporter. Not really necessarily. Well, I'll put spy, but we're not talking James Bond here. Mimi's asking, could she have let it have been stolen if she was paid enough? It's possible, but that isn't what it feels like. Yes, Robbie, make purse security great again. So, reporter, an agent from another country, a thief that got lucky. I don't think so. Yeah, it ends in the Magician. Oh, they will get to the bottom of this. And this is bad. There's something really, really bad about this. Eight of Pentacles working. Eight of Wands. This is all the stuff they've been doing and talking about. Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords, Magician. Using resources. This feels like reporters, but this doesn't. Like they'd love to know some things, but this magician, this is somebody trained. Is that a good word for it? Yeah, this just feels bad. This feels what the cards are saying and the energy. I would have assumed this would just be another awfulness, but this feels like this is a bigger deal. Yes, dear. Not that she's going to lose her job. Just this is a bigger deal. So, okay. Well, let's a little bit of sanity. Yes, dear. Nettie was asking, how is Fatuous 47 going to react to basically 195,000 UK citizens signed a petition to stop a second visit from Trump. 195,000, nearly 200,000 UK citizens signed a petition to stop a second visit. Sweetheart, you're tired. So, is there going to be a second visit? This sounds like something they wouldn't tell him. Carol says, that was a full-on hello. Yes. Hey, sweetheart. Just relax. Just relax. Here's your blankie. Get some rest. Yeah, this definitely sounds like something they wouldn't tell him. Yeah. He's too childish for them to be in any hurry.
You're so soft. Yes, you are.
He's very soft. Yeah, his corruption, his big victory that nobody wants to hear about, and the big plan. So I don't know that they're going to tell him. And says the 2024 population of, was that England or the UK as a whole? 57.7 million. What did you take? He's playing with something. It wasn't his twist tie. It feels like in general, people in the UK, they don't necessarily they don't despise all of us. They are just wondering why the heck so many people lost their minds. Yeah, fair. We're wondering that too. It just feels like we are going to be linked to the UK for a long time. I don't know why I feel that way, but it just feels like that. King of Swords, we don't want you here. Feeling beaten up, Trump is less and less welcome. Page of Wands. Also, I don't know that Trump is he been traveling overseas at all? I don't know that he wants to go anywhere. Not like he did during his last administration. So, wow. The major arcana are all clumped together. That's not good. So, Giovanna says they had Brexit. They know it's not all of us. All right, let me just spread these out because I don't like all the major arcana being in one spot. All right, so at probably 46. What's the next question? Oh, we have two questions. This could get interesting. Oh, Sherry says the number of petition signatures of people not wanting him to come over is up to 400,000 signatures. Well done, UK. Well done. Yeah. Yes, Rita. King Baboon wants everyone to come to him. Oh, that's good. Cusco says he's only traveled to Notre Dame so far. Yeah. Okay, so what is going on 4630 that you should be aware of is two major sporting events that are coming up. Is it 2028? The US is hosting the Olympics. Now, one of these is next year, one of these is 2028. So one's 2026, one's 2028. And I knew the answer to that when I first came on, and it's just gone straight out of my head. The US is hosting the Olympics. Basically, North America's hosting the World Cup. So with Fatuous 47's deportation rules, will the international athletes not come? Chris Cole says World Cup 2026 soccer. Yep. Okay. So that's, oh boy. So first we're going to look at the Olympics. Then we're going to look at the World Cup. Because the Olympics in 2028, in theory, the dumpster fire is still going to be the president. Spiritual hack. Sebastian has the lovely peaches and cream complexion of British novel fame. Why, thank you. It's very sweet. All right, 2028 Olympics. Oh dear. Okay. Okay. So Dumpy wants to be important. However, Knight of Wands, aggressive, MAGA, magician. Where's this money going to come from? Well, they raise money. They do fundraisers. They do. Here's the moon in the center. That is absolute chaos. Two of Pentacles is robbing Peter to pay Paul. There is some serious heavy-duty financial weakness there. And it ends in a DEATH card. This is what I'm getting for the U.S. hosting the Olympics in 2028. Yuck. I am not liking this. Will they have to postpone it? Or will Will it be postponed, or will something dire happen at it? Or will people just insist it not be here? And it says ALA is to host 8 matches during the World Cup 2026. Oh, we'll look at that in a minute. Tuxedo Cat is asking, will anyone come? Yeah. There are two Germans who were going around the world, and when they got to Hawaii, they didn't have a hotel booked, but they were there, and so immigration snapped them up, strip searched them, put them in jumpsuits, and I believe has just, yeah, anyway, just 2 Germans, just so Olympics 2028. 5 of Wands. This is just stirring up far-right garbage. Okay. Make of this what you will. And it says the countries may boycott the LA Olympics in 2028. Well, this is the King of Pentacles. So normally we build stuff. We've hosted many an Olympic, and I think did a pretty good job. But that is the absolute corruption. Chariot. You think, okay, great, that's moving forward, but there's a huge, ugly judgment, which ends in adding insult to injury. There's some, as long as MAGA is still in control, I mean, hopefully by then, Democrats will be controlling at least one part of Congress. Please, please, please. But this is a whole lot of worry. Adding insult to injury. What are you going to deport people? You're going to deny entry? This Chariot feels like it's going forward, but the corruption here just makes everything awful. Lois says travel from the U.S. to Canada was down 900,000 last month. Not good. Oh my gosh. Katie Brown says DC is hosting 3 games this year for the FIFA World Cup in June. Ms. Gibson saying, I don't see people being able to pay for anything. Why would they want to come here? Yeah, this is not good, folks. All right, on the defensive, this is fear. This is fear about what happens to foreigners who come to the United States of America. Come here, sweetheart. Just take a nap. Go ahead. Get some rest. There you go. Good boy. Yeah, that's bad. And then the cards are the Death card, 6 of Cups, Queen of Cups. Like, they will eventually forgive us if we vote for Democrats. We get more and more Democrats in. There's a way back from this, but I wouldn't have thought that they would be so awful to 2 Germans who are just passing through. I have to worry about what is going to happen to foreigners passing through our country over the next couple of years here, where people are terrified of what could happen to them. Yeah, I don't like this at all. Ugh. Ugh. Man. Like, I'm getting, like, gross chills. All right. 5520. Now we need to ask about the World Cup. Whoops. Hello. Oh, I'll just leave that. 5530. Okay. The World Cup. There are some Sherry W., I'm truly not believing we are discussing stolen purses and events 2 to 3 years from now, right now. This moment, our economy is going down the toilet today. The market is sinking down 1,281. The Dow is down 3%. The numbers don't necessarily matter as much as the percentage. So, yeah, almost 3.5%, which is Trump's Powell attacks add to investors' concerns. Yep, so the Dow is down to 37,800. Hang on a second. If Valerie's asking, when does the market close? There will be corrections. Yes. Share screen. There we go. Bernie's saying the market closes at 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, thank you. So, oops, I need to get back to that tab. I have so many open, it's crazy. There it is. So this is for the last year. Down here, this was a year ago, 1 year ago. The market closed at 37,815. And the market went up, but it's back down. Matter of fact, it was really down back on April 7th. So about 2 weeks ago, it closed at 37,645. It came back up, and now it's half of the low it had the other day. It's not great for people's 401k, but at the same time, it's where it was a year ago. It's a good 5 years. Back here in 2020, it was closed at 24,000. So that's 5 years. So if that helps any with perspective, just letting you know. I worry about our economy every day. And I talk about our economy almost every day. We're looking at the Olympics. We're looking at the World Cup because of they're an indication. Bellwether is the word that comes to mind of just how bad things are going to be, both in our policies, how much we are hated, which is going to directly affect our economy. So part of the question is, it isn't what's happening. We're trying to use other things to help gauge how long there's going to be a problem, potentially how bad the problem could be, or is there a big uptick at some point where Maybe Democrats somehow come into much more power. That's why we look. Retelling's the voice that gifted 5 memberships to random people in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Gibson. And says, just hold on, the market does this. If you watch it all the time, it'll make you nuts. Okay. Thank you, Cindy. Oxford Cat says it keeps crashing. Well, that's the last 5 years. It doesn't look like crashing. It's not good since Trump got in there. We know that. And I know there are some people here who have 401ks, some people here who do have money in the markets, and I do feel for you. I really, really do. A lot of people do not. Do you remember? Here, let me stop that. Do you remember I was telling you in the last, I don't know how many weeks, the last month or two, Hal Sparks was doing his Sunday show with Johnny Million, the great fake radio names. But anyway, and the market had just tanked, badly, very badly. And Johnny Million, okay, this thing is just not going to play nice. Johnny Million was saying that he was looking at his 401k and it was down like $18,000. And Hal said, yeah, I know what you mean. And my first thought was, you have 401ks? Wow. I don't. A lot of people I know don't. But where it got funny is someone in the chat said, pretty soon, Johnny, you're going to be Johnny Thousandaire. And Hal Sparks said, now you're going to get down to Johnny Nichols, like a gangster. Johnny Nichols. And I'm going to be Hal Spark, just the one Spark. It's all we're able to afford. Hal Spark and Johnny Nichols. Lois is also saying it's the bond market that will cause instability. Yes, bond market is key. But anyway, all right. I don't know what to do. Okay, we'll just. You know me. My Sagittarius stellium. When in doubt, be silly. All right, we'll have a quick look at the World Cup. There we go. When in doubt, be silly. All right, back to the World Cup at 103.40. 103.45. Okay. World Cup. Cindy says, you look like a wood nymph. Oh. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Dawn. All right, World Cup. This doesn't really matter, but way back when my oldest sister first started dating her, or she was getting married to her husband of 36 or 7 years. He would do silly things or say silly things. And he had this one thing he kept saying at the time where he would go, football, kick. And I don't know, that came to my head. He said it for years, drove everybody crazy. Football, kick. Katie, I'm proud, Earth Day tomorrow. Oh, that's right. I'll have to come up with something. Shame I used this already. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm not liking this. Make sure, to the different teams, make sure you're with the visas and all of that stuff, make sure every T is crossed, every I is dotted. 9 of Wands. This, honestly, this just feels like the dumpster fire, Donnie, just up in his head. Anyway, Chariot, this is a big deal. World, this is a big deal. Soccer is massive across the world. Ace of Pentacles, potentially huge money. Four of Pentacles. Day late and $1 short, and then secrets. So at least it's not ending in like a tower. But this is concerning. Everybody's going to be on edge. So that's going to do it for me for today. Gloria says, thanks for the laugh. Oh, good. Good, good, good. All right. Well, that is going to do it for me for today. But it's 1:13 p.m. here in Chicago. At 3 o'clock, I'll be over at on the Creative Sprints channel. Sarah should be back today. And we're going to be productive, and we are going to help each other. And we're going to get through this. All right. So please remember, you're not alone. Even if some of us just terminally silly. The Sagittarius energy in me acknowledges the Sagittarian energy in you. You're not alone. We're in this together. There are good days ahead. So hang in there. All right. And I will see you later. I'll be back. I'm here every single day. So take care.